This is the fastest and most reliable method that I know of to hit $10,000 a month consistently and without spending a ton of money on ads or wasting lots of time doing the wrong things. Now, I've created $10,000 a month products and services multiple times. I've now got different products and services that all make over $10,000 a month each, some of which have hit that number within a few weeks, and others took years for me to get there. And I want to share with you what works. Now, when I first started my web design agency about 1 million years ago, the idea of making $10,000 a month seemed like an impossible task. Like, if I hit that number, I'd be the richest person in my family. And if we want to do this right to get started, we need to look at something called the $10,000 target. So the $10,000 a month target is how I want you to think about your sort of 10K journey, I suppose. Right in the center, you've got $10,000 a month. That's this tiny bit here. And then on the outside is when you're making over $5,000 a month. This middle ring is when you're making anything over $2,000. This first ring is $1,000. And on the outside, you're making nothing. And our job is to basically get towards the center. Now, I was fired from my corporate marketing job. I was basically told I didn't really get marketing. I didn't really have what it takes. And I remember getting my second corporate job and seeing so many people working their asses off producing good work, but never really seeing any of the benefits. They were working 50-hour weeks. They didn't have a social life. They were constantly getting the blame for when things went wrong, but their manager would take credit for when things went right. When I left and decided to do my own work, my first offer was basic website design and digital marketing. Now, I attended tons of networking events. I got loads of business cards from people. And what I would do is I would follow up with people and try to get on calls or get meetings. And I would land the occasional client, but there was always this kind of feast or famine approach where I was either making a ton of money or no money, and it was up and down all the time. And that made paying bills and planning very difficult. What I wanted was consistency throughout my revenue. Now, I tried to sell a lot of different products to create recurring revenue from things like courses and affiliate marketing and coaching. And I found over and over that it was difficult to get something off the ground until I changed my approach. If you get this part wrong, you will spend months, sometimes even years, trying to sell a product that no one wants. Now, I don't know if you're anything like me, but what I used to do is I would spend hours of my time researching how to do really cool stuff with websites and software. And I was researching things that I thought would be useful, like automation, parallax. Do you remember when that was a thing? And everyone was obsessed with that. And I could see the value in these things, everything from design to marketing. And I was fairly certain that customers would be able to as well. And so what I would do is I would spend months of my time building courses, apps, or software that did some pretty cool things. And I would put loads and loads of time and effort in. And my assumption was that if I put a ton of time and effort into these sort of products, then the sales would sort of take care of themselves and it would sort of skyrocket. If the quality of the product was good, then the sales would take care of themselves. Now, the problem is that no matter how much value I added into the product, I put loads of time and energy and effort into the product, the sales never really seemed to take off at the rate that I wanted. And so what I realized is that to make that first jump from sort of $0 to $1,000 a month, what I would have to do is sort of put the cart before the horse and actually sell it before I built it. What I was actually looking for is proof that I had something that people wanted. Now, this was really scary at first because my two biggest fears were one, that people would want the thing that they bought immediately, or two, that I would overpromise and underdeliver and that people would want their money back. And so I can say, so having done this model for 10 years now, how many people have asked for refunds? None, right? Basically, the job was to prove that there was a market before I could sell this thing. And so what I did is I focused all of my time and energy on basically doing one thing. I spent all of my time building an audience. And it's really critical that we do this. And I would create content. This is me over here, right? I would create content like videos and blog posts and sort of social media posts that would attract my ideal audience. It would talk about problems that they could relate to. And throughout that process, I collected a lot of email addresses and I built an email list. Now, that might not sound revolutionary, but at the time, it was a relatively new thing to do. And when I got my first sort of 1,000 email subscribers, I was sort of blown away. I also added them to a Facebook group. Personally, I wouldn't necessarily use Facebook right now. Maybe I would use like Discord or high levels version of like communities or something like that. And I ran 3 weekly webinars. And all I was doing, this kind of fed into each other, right? Because I could use this content to build an audience, and then the audience would sort of end up joining my list. And the number one thing that I was actually doing throughout this entire process is I was like, what do you want? And they gave me a ton of answers. They gave me loads of ideas. So what I did is I put together a sales page based on everything that they had sort of told me, and I gave it one singular focus. And at the time, it was something like, I'll help you find a $10,000 customer. I think that was like my first sort of sell then build offer. And I was like, it's going to be $100 a month, and we're going to get on a call once a week, and it's going to be a group call. And we had like a mini sort of like community area. And I sold 15 in the first week because I had an audience. I proved that there was something there. And if people wanted to join, it meant that they bought. And then I would start building the product on the back end. This was giving me the proof that I needed that this was something that people wanted. And some of these customers have stayed with me for years. Now, this second transition, after you've sort of made your first 1,000 a month, this is when you begin to feel like you're setting a solid foundation, because you can start planning for the future. You might even be saving a little, potentially making your first hire. Now, when I started, I assumed I needed a lot of leads and a lot of traffic. And looking back, it's because I saw lots of other people with like really big followings, and they had loads of traffic, and they bragged about how much traffic they had and how many leads they were generating. And I thought, well, that's how they must make sales. So I wrote a ton of blog content. I did a lot of podcasts. I did videos. I ran a social group. I did ads. I attended networking events, all to try and get more leads and more traffic, which kind of on the surface sort of makes sense. But the sales, again, they never really sort of took off from where they were. They kind of just hovered around the same level. And so the amount of the traffic and leads and subscribers and followers I had across multiple channels, I really wasn't making nearly the amount of money that I sort of expected I should. And now a friend of mine, Cam, he kind of pointed out to me that all of my efforts were being put into the wrong areas. So very basically, you have traffic, you have leads, sales, and you have delivery, right? And he basically pointed out that what I was doing was spending loads of time at the traffic part, loads of time at the leads part, and loads of time in the delivery part. If you think I was doing like a call a week, and I was doing, like webinars at the top, I was doing content, and I was down the bottom, we had like a community, and I was like having chats with people, and I would even do like calls if people asked. And yet, where can you see I'm not spending any time at all? And it was kind of embarrassing the way he pointed out. I was spending hardly any time in sales. And I remember one time he kindly went through with me and stayed really, really late and pointed out my funnel. And he had 15 places that he said, like, here's where you could start making offers that you're not making. And we sent one email campaign, and within like 5 hours, I had made like an extra $1,000. And by the end of the week, I then had $2,000 a month coming in through the same basic sort of group program that I was running. You do not need a big following or tons of traffic or leads or subscribers. Your goal and your focus at this stage should be on sales and making money. Work on making the product better later on. Probably already know where your next sort of 2 to 3 sales are coming from. Work on selling to your current list and your current audience first. If you take care of the sales process, the traffic and the leads will take care of themselves. Now comes this kind of like magical portion where we sort of jump from 2,000 to 5,000. And this is where you've sort of got your basics covered. You're not necessarily in survival mode anymore. I don't know about you, but I remember feeling a lot freer and a lot lighter. Things are sort of taken care of. You can start investing in the business. But in my opinion, this is the most dangerous part in an entrepreneur's journey. This is where I have been stung multiple times. This is where I see a lot of people stung a lot of times, because you're seeing a little bit of success coming in, and you're probably working hard to sort of drive the sales that you're making. And in theory, it might sound like a really great idea to hire someone exclusively to do your sales, maybe like your leads and your marketing. Remember, this is the part where you're like starting to see a little bit of success and a little bit of money coming in. The problem is that other people will notice this as well. I remember I would talk to my stepdad and say, like, how do I know my business is doing well? And he was like, well, you got profit and loss and all this stuff. And I was like, yeah, but I like, how do I know that's working? He said, do you want to know the best way to know if you're doing well? It's when you start getting credit card and loan offers through the post. The banks know you're doing well. They're going to start offering you more money. That's usually a pretty good sign that you've started doing something properly. Now, the key here is to do something called double down. Your sort of first sale does one thing, right? It proves that you have something that people want to buy. Your second sale proves that it's not fluke. Now, what most people do in this situation is they now do the opposite of what I'm going to tell you to do. What they start doing is, if we divide this in half, what they start doing is they start experimenting with loads of different offers and services. They've seen a little bit of success, and they fool themselves into thinking, well, this is called like diversification, right? I should be creating lots of products and services, and they might call it like a product library. Or what they do is they hire someone for a lot of money who says they can help them scale. And that person says that they're going to do like ads for them, and they'll do their sales, and they'll do their lead generation, and maybe their social media marketing or their short form content creation. I'm going to give you some advice here that cost me way more than the amount I'm going to tell you. Do not advertise until you are doing consistently at least $20,000 a month. Don't need to. Content repurposing, cross-channel marketing, all that stuff, all that does is it makes it harder to figure out what works. If we come back to our sort of target here, you've been hitting the bullseye, right? You've been making contact with the target. Not necessarily, you haven't been hitting the bullseye. Your sales are showing that you can hit the board. Adding all of that other shit is like adding extra rings to the outside. The goal is to get to $10,000 a month. Now, it might seem like all this other stuff around the outside, like sales and ads and content marketing and hiring people and all this clever shit, is going to help you get there quicker. It won't. Instead, what you need to keep doing is keep tweaking your offer. Don't do what everyone else does and keep adding products and services. Instead, take your current offer, see what's worked in the past, and say, what's one thing I could change about the offer or the sales journey? Maybe you want to now try adding a video sales letter in. Maybe your offer currently says we can do it in 45 days. Maybe you want to test saying, what happens if we can do it in 31 days? Or maybe your current offer says, currently we say we work with coaches. What if we tweak it and we say we work with content creators? The tweaking is what matters. Change the offer and the way you present the offer, not the entire product. Take my YouTube channel, for example. Like, you can actually see this in action if you go to my YouTube channel. If you go down right to about here, about a year ago, you can see we're trying lots of things. 400 views. These are not too bad. 3,800, 2.5, 713, 838. And then a friend of mine was like, just try something super basic. I was like, great, make $50,000 in 30 days. And it worked. Did 15,000 views, which was more than any other video we'd had before. So I was like, right, I'm going to repeat that. And we did. And we did okay. This one, not as well, but still better than we had been. Then I went back to what I was doing. I was testing different things. And I found this one, how to stop your business making you miserable. And it sucked, 617 views. And so I was like, make money today. Let's try that. It did well. This is a compilation video. So it's actually an old product, so to speak, but with a new title. And then we went bananas, like the most valuable funnel training you ever watch, 103,000, make $150,000 in 12 months, 42,000 views. If you need to make $5,000 in 7 days, watch this. And so I'm testing all these different ideas, but every time I get one right, I think, good, we probably need to repeat that. And as you can see throughout the process, like overall, this starts to build up and make progress and get us closer to that center. And this final portion, getting from 5,000 to 10,000, this is when you start to see regular profit. This is when you can start to expand your services. You can pay people to help you scale. If you get this wrong, you'll make less money than ever before and you'll end up resenting your business. This is a really crucial tipping point within the business. Now, in my experience, this is the most exciting time in a business. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. I know that a lot of cool marketer bros out there will say things like, hey, you need to dream bigger than $10,000 a month. It can make life very, very fun. And this is a big sort of roadblock to get over. This is usually where people find their bills getting paid. They've got a little more set aside. They're saving a bit more. Maybe they're investing and they're hiring people. But don't get trapped into thinking that you've got it all nailed, right? That was the mistake I made. This is a critical part of the journey, and this is how you'll make your next 10,000 and how you'll make your next sort of 100,000, maybe even $100,000 a month. This is how I moved from $5,000 to $10,000, and this is probably the biggest shift. The actual overall premise here is very, very simple. If our prices were looking like this, all I did is I basically massively increased them. I now know that I have a sales method that works. I have a process of getting leads in and turning those leads into prospects and then closing them as to customers and then making those customers stay with me. Most business owners have no idea how valuable this is. If you have a way to attract people who at one point didn't know who you were and then turn them into customers, you have literal gold dust in your hands. Everyone thinks that the money is in the leads and the traffic bit, and it's absolutely categorically not. This is a cost right up until the point where it's not. An audience that doesn't buy anything isn't a valuable audience. In order to make the jump from 5,000 to 10,000, you need to do this. Plus, I also wanted to sort of reduce my working time, right? I basically 20x'd my prices. And I know that sounds insane. I went from charging $100 a month to $2,000 because I thought, well, I've got the sales process down. The delivery basically stayed the same. If anything, we actually reduced the amount of stuff that we were delivering. The offer changed. That's all that changed, right? If you have sort of the component parts of the business, which is basically the sales method, the offer, price, and the delivery, this already worked. I knew this worked. I knew I could make sales. I knew I could deliver something. So what I had to do is, in order to change the price, I had to change the offer. Now, that doesn't mean changing the delivery. Changing the offer means switching from I'll help you get a $10,000 client to I'll help you make $1 million. All I was doing was changing the thing that they would be getting at the end of it. I also spent way more time on qualification. That was critical. As soon as I spent more time qualifying, I found that I had more people to be able to who could afford the price that I wanted and made sure I got the right people. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, well, how on earth can I deliver or guarantee those kinds of results? Which is why I've got this video right here.